Hey guys, Without Warning podcast here, bringing you guys back another video. Tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft that's coming, I think, April 27th. It's a big draft. It's coming up. There's a lot of key players, especially a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be taken really early. It actually might be a record for most quarterbacks taken in the top 5 picks. It's definitely going to be a huge day in sports, and we had to talk about it. So Matt, just quickly give your thoughts on this upcoming draft. Quickly, we're just going to talk about picks, maybe 1 through 15, until our team, the Patriots, pick. So Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely excited about this draft. Probably first one in a couple years where I feel like, probably 1 through 10 it's going to be a hit. Obviously there's going to be some bust, but there's some great players in this draft, especially quarterbacks. This is the first draft I think I've seen where the top 4 teams could select 4 quarterbacks. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible. I think this is the first sports kind of talk that we're bringing you guys. We're super excited. Expect more of it in the future. So one of the more recent sports talks that we're given. So let's go over the draft. Number 1 with Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think that's no question. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. I mean, obviously, he was the anointed first overall pick since 2018. So if he doesn't go first, which he will, and I think he's a stud. I mean, he has every check mark you want in a quarterback. He has it, but that doesn't mean he's obviously going to be, he's going to work in the NFL because the Jags, they could screw him over, the front office, whatever. But I think that he'll be a good player though, and he's easily the clear-cut number 1 overall pick. His size, athleticism just speaks for itself. Matt, so the Jets are picking second. Who do you believe they're going to take?
Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. I don't really know how I feel about him. I haven't watched so much tape. I watched his pro day. He looked good, but pro days are, he's on the field by himself. There's no defenders. He's throwing wide open receivers. He looks pretty athletic. He's got a good arm. He's got that swagger about him that you have to have, especially going to New York market.
You're gonna have a set of confidence too over there because the media will fucking crush you.
Oh, for sure. And I think he has it. Obviously, we know they're taking a quarterback. All fingers point to him since they traded Sam Darnold. So I think we both agree on top 2 picks, right? And then after here is when it kind of you don't really know for sure, but you have an idea.
I'm going to go on record saying the Jets should pick Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Sure. I think he's a better player, but, obviously we're not running NFL teams, so, we don't really know, I guess, whatever. But
you know what? As a Patriots fan, I hope the Jets don't pick Justin Fields because he could be
I want him
going off the next 12-plus years in the division. So
third pick, everyone's talking about Mac Jones. The 49ers, San Francisco 49ers are picking, and I think they're going to take him. Everyone's been reporting it. I mean, you never know, but they traded to get to the 3rd pick, so they're going to take someone notable. They're probably going to take a quarterback because the whole thing with Garoppolo.
It's either between Mac Jones or Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think Trey Lance. He's just so much unknown with Trey Lance, so
if he played, they'll take him. Yeah, throughout college, I mean, maybe he'd be the 2nd overall pick. We don't know.
Yes, or maybe even the 1st, but Trevor Lawrence is the golden boy, golden arm. But so I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. I don't necessarily think it's the right pick, but I just think they're gonna do it that way. So I'm saying San Francisco 49ers take Mac Jones at 3rd. Matt, do you agree?
I agree. I don't think it's the right pick. I think Justin Fields is clearly better. I mean, Mac Jones, his entire career played with, first-round pick, wide receivers,
3
NFL offensive line, running backs,
Nick Saban.
One of the greatest coaches of all time, let alone college. So,
and Justin Fields, I mean, he's played with Ohio State, which has tons of first-round picks, but
it's not the same.
He has more to show for it because he's had years. If you look at his numbers from 2019, they're really good.
41 touchdowns, 3 picks.
I don't know if it was 38 and 3, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was exactly. 41 and 3.
Or something really.
Yeah.
So he went off. It's just, obviously that year Joe Burrow threw like 50 touchdowns, whatever. But so I think that, it's going to be Mac Jones. I guess they like him. I don't know. So that leads us to the 4th overall pick.
And this is where things start to get like, there's could potentially be trades. I heard Atlanta's, who's picking 4th right now, has the option, or they're thinking about trading the pick.
So what do you think? A lot of people have been saying that our New England Patriots will trade up and try and get that 4th overall pick to draft Justin Fields. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think they're going to do?
I don't see it. Belichick historically is one to trade back, if anything.
That's true.
But he has been very aggressive in this offseason. They need a quarterback for the future. I'm okay with Cam for one more year, with more weapons and whatnot, but I don't see the Patriots moving up to 4. I think they're going to stay where they are. They're, top 15.
So that leads us to who do you think the 49ers, the Falcons are going to take it? They're going to trade it, keep it?
I think Matt Ryan's still good for a couple years. I don't think he's the problem. They need defense, which has been their, weakness the past couple years. But, I think you should just take the best player on the board, Kyle Pitts. A lot of people think he's the second best player on the board, with quarterbacks and
everyone thinks he is. I think he is too. They think he's the first or second, guaranteed Pro Bowler. Put him on any
8
team.
Pro Bowls, 10+ years.
Just a dominant player that might have a Hall of Fame career. And
he looks like it.
Yeah. I think, in that Atlanta Falcons team, they're trying to bring back that, Atlanta Falcons scary offense, good team. I mean, they were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with, like you said, Kyle Pitts at number 4.
Yeah, that's my pick as well. And I think, for the Falcons, just take Pitts, and then every other pick in the draft, go defense. That's it. Because if you have Julio, Pitts, and Ridley, you can't double 2 of them.
So that leads us to our 5th overall pick, which is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're going to keep that pick. I don't think they're going to trade it. And,
no way, they shouldn't.
Who do you think they're going to take?
I think they should take a tackle, one of the tackles, either Slater out of Northwestern or Penei Sewell from Oregon. But I don't know. I think they're going to end up taking probably the best receiver on the board, which will be Jamar Chase from LSU. Reunite him back with Joe Burrow. I think they should take a tackle, but I got him taking the receiver. Honestly, I don't see either pick as a bad pick, so what do you think?
I think it all depends if Kyle Pitts slides, which I don't think he will. I think he'll be taken 4th. But I think you take Jamar Chase. The history with Burrow already speaks for itself. And, everyone's saying he's the best receiver on the board, so I think you go with that there.
Right.
So that leads us to the Miami Dolphins at the 6th overall pick. And I think they have to go offense here.
Their defense, absolutely. Defense is legit.
They're rolling with Tua, so you got to get him an offensive tackle. And I think it's either between Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. And I think for that, Rashawn Slater right now is a little bit more the favorite. And I think the Miami Dolphins will take him at 6.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with taking a left tackle. I mean, well, actually, do they still have... No, Laramie Tunsil's on the Texans, right? Yeah, so they traded him. I think they're still working that out. Tua has, obviously injury history. Got to protect him as much as possible. They did sign Will Fuller, who's a good receiver, a good number 2. There's plenty of receivers in this draft that you can pick in, the 2nd, 3rd rounds. So, I agree. I think Rashawn Slater is a solid pick. Can't go wrong with that, for sure.
So that leads us to the Detroit Lions. What do the Lions do?
7th overall pick, by the way.
Do they take a tackle? I mean, they need...
They need everything. I mean,
they got Jared Goff. Yeah, they need freaking everything.
I think their defense is okay.
Dan Campbell is going to take a freaking linebacker.
Yeah, that's probably, right?
I think they got to take... I think they got to take a receiver on.
Yeah.
With Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase gone, it's either between Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle. And I think they take Waddle.
I think so
I
too.
mean, Penei Sewell is still there.
A lot of people think he can be a cornerstone, like left tackle, 10 plus years. You know,
But the Lions, like, they lost.
think about it. Yeah, they lost Kenny Galladay. You got a new quarterback coming into that system.
You want, like, a young receiver to build, like, a rapport with.
yeah, new quarterback.
But
in the
also, you
city.
want someone to protect Goff. But I think,
I don't even know who's their left tackle.
yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go with Jalen Waddle at 7.
You know, I agree. Obviously, didn't have the career that what's his name, Smith, Devontae Smith did in college, but you know, I think he just fits what Detroit needs. They need some playmakers. They're gonna need some offense, especially in that division going against Green Bay. So, on to the next pick. Number 8 overall is Carolina Panthers. Michael, what do you think?
So far we've gone through 3 quarterbacks, right? We've gone through Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones.
So
I think
Trey
the
Lance still
Carolina
on the
Panthers,
board?
Justin Fields, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the Panthers are going to be able to grab Justin Fields. I mean, it all depends
Really?
on that 3rd overall pick, what the 49ers do, but
Let me ask you this though: even after giving up a second next year, and then 2 years later, a 4th and a 6th for Darnold, who's only 23.
They got Darnold. I forgot about that. You know what? I think they take Penei Sewell.
I think, yeah.
Because they got, Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold. Those two
Bridgewater,
guys,
they can trade. Think about that. I mean, he's a solid trade asset. You can get
he's
a
not
good
like
pick.
the worst. I mean, he's a great backup.
An
Like, if
elite
you have
backup.
an elite backup. He could start games too. He could start 12 games.
You put him
in
on a
this-
good
in this
team
season.
with a good roster, good coach.
So I say they get Penei Sewell at the 8th overall pick, and I think that's a major steal for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get 2
I agree.
quarterbacks. I mean, ideally not the quarterbacks you necessarily want, but they're good bridges right now.
And-
Give Sam Darnold a team that's not freaking super dysfunctional.
Yep.
A good young coach.
Get away from Adam Gase.
Yeah.
He reunites with Robbie Anderson, good
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah.
DJ Moore's there. They
Get
got
that cornerstone left tackle. I think that's the right move for them.
add that with Christian McCaffrey. That's only going to help
Yep,
his run
yep.
game. So
So Carolina Panthers, Penei Sewell, and that leaves us with the 9th overall pick, the Denver Broncos, and I think they snag Fields.
oh yeah, if he's still on the board,
He's
you
available
have
at
to
9.
take
You
him.
have to take him. They need a quarterback. Drew Lock is not the guy. Do not believe so.
No way. I don't think Denver does either. I mean, they've had so many quarterbacks since Peyton. They've been looking for the new guy. I think it's been like 13, 14 starting quarterbacks since 2015. So you have to take Justin Fields. And if he slides to Denver at 9, that's a crazy steal in my opinion.
Because I think the 49ers could have had him at 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're just going to roll with that. And Denver Broncos taking Fields.
That's going to be the steal of the draft so far if he slips to 9.
And that leads to number 10, Dallas Cowboys. Cowgirls. No, honestly, I don't even mind the Cowboys. Their fans are fucking annoying. But, the Cowboys, they need defense. They got
Absolutely.
reported today they have the best receivers in the NFL, best receiving core.
Which I don't agree with at all.
But it's up there at least. They have 3 good receivers.
yeah. I put
And-
Tampa
and
and
Dak.
probably-
But they need that defense. They need defense, and that's Patrick Surtain. He's the guy. I think he's probably the best corner.
Yep, corner out of Bama. But Jerry Jones, he likes
Flashy players.
Flashy
and stuff. But who else
offense,
is there?
but-
I mean, you got Devonta Smith, but you have so many receivers.
Oh, yeah,
You're
you
not
can't
gonna
draft.
get him.
They drafted CeeDee Lamb, who's the same player pretty much. I feel like could be in the NFL. So that rounds out our top 10.
So
It's not going to be like that. There's going to be some trades.
You know what? I think that leads. So the New York Giants have the 11th overall pick, and I think they take Micah Parsons, Penn State. They need defense too. I know they also need offense, but I mean they signed
Kenny
yeah
Galladay.
they got him. Yeah, if there's any other like
Saquon
tackles,
comes
maybe
back.
Saquon comes back. So I think you just got to roll with defense here. You'll have a pretty good offense. I mean, they're all in on Daniel Jones, I guess.
Yep, I think he's got one more year to like kind of take a step, and if he doesn't, then they're going to be back in the
Then you got to cut him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, Micah Parsons, clearly the best linebacker from Penn State on the board at that point. Maybe the best defensive player.
They have too many just holes to fill. I mean, Daniel Jones, giving him another weapon is a priority, but Parsons fits what they need on defense. It can be an immediate standout in both pass and run defense. So.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a tough hitter. He'll fill the gaps in the middle.
So that leads us to the 12th overall pick, and
which is the Philadelphia Eagles, who originally had the 6th overall pick, which I didn't like the fact that they traded back.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they could have maybe snagged Kyle Pitts maybe if he fell a little bit, or
Jamar Chase,
or got a cornerstone tackle,
because they have no
or maybe
receivers.
even a quarterback. Justin Fields could have slipped to them. Got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
who knows if he's gonna work out? Like,
I feel like that's such a mess if you draft.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
True, yeah.
But
so I think they're gonna roll
agree.
with Devonta Smith. That's my pick. I think they're going with him.
Yeah, he's the best receiver on the board at that point. He fills a gap that they'll need. I think they lost Alshon Jeffries. I think he retired.
Oh, really?
Or he's gone. They cut him. I don't even know who the other receivers are off the top of my head.
It's funny how they were in the Super Bowl about three years ago.
Zach Ertz is gone too,
and now
Carson Wentz is gone. Nick Foles is gone. Everyone's gone.
The coach is gone. I mean, they beat our Patriots in a freaking crazy game, and now 3 years later they fucking suck.
Yep. And then we're talking all that shit about we have fun, we know how to win, and still have fun. The Patriots won 2 Super Bowls since then, and then Brady left and won another this year. So
that leads us to the 13th overall pick, and I think that's going to be. They need a tackle for Justin Herbert.
Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah,
they got to protect him at all costs, and I think with that you got to go with Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech. I think he's another solid pick for offensive tackle. I don't think he's in that same category as the first two.
No,
but he's a safe pick for a third tackle taken in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been rising fast as a prospect. He can play across the entire offensive front. And the Chargers just signed Corey Linsley, who's been an all-pro center with the Packers. So
I think you got to go there.
Yeah, because they have receivers. Their defense, they'll clearly try to bolster up throughout the later rounds in the draft. But that leads us to the 14th overall pick, which is the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you got going there?
I don't know. They need a lot of help. I feel like the Vikings just. I mean, they got Patrick Peterson. That's
they did,
an upgrade.
But
but he's getting up there in age. I mean, he's still probably
good for the locker room.
Yeah, I think you got to go with the first edge rusher really so far taken, which in NFL draft history, I feel like this is a late pick for an edge rusher.
That's crazy.
But Kwity Paye out of Michigan, I think you got to go with him. He's polished. He's a good stout player. I think the Vikings need someone that can get to the quarterback. It's going to be good person in the locker room, good person on defense, and I don't know too much about him, but from what I've heard and some of the tape I've seen, Kwity Paye seems like maybe the best edge rusher.
Same here. I think he's probably going to be the best on the board at that point.
At that point in the draft, yeah. So I think you got to take him.
If you're the Vikings, drafting an edge rusher obviously is super important, especially the division you're in. You got to get to Aaron Rodgers. So,
that leads us to our last pick we're going to be talking about today, and that's our New England Patriots at 15. Matt, what do you think? We need a lot. What do you think we need?
If they stay at 15, I expect Belichick to either trade back, get a second and another fourth or something, or he'll draft a player from like Rutgers that absolutely no one has ever heard about. You know, like a free safety from Rutgers, like he did a couple years ago, or he'll draft like the quarterback from Stanford. What's his name? Like Davis Mills or whatever. I don't know. No one really knows where he's going, but he could be a late first round pick from what I'm hearing. Who knows? Who knows?
Take someone like Sante Samuel Jr.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, he was a Patriot.
Forgot about him.
He was a Patriot.
You know, Bill's probably been talking to his dad, you know,
Something
seeing like how
that.
he's...
Honestly, so that's our pick for the Patriots. We have no fucking clue. They could draft up and get the 4th overall pick or trade down to get like 4 second-round picks and take random people from schools we've never heard of.
The Patriots could trade up to number 4 and still draft someone like we've never heard of.
Draft like J.C. Horn from South Carolina, who's a first-round pick.
He's supposed to be good. I think he's like the second corner. But
yeah. 3rd corner, maybe. I think there's a few other.
The Patriots need some help. But
so that leads us, you know, for the last topic we're going to be talking about today. You know, I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and you know, we're just going to go from there. All right, guys. Peace.